Okay, there are three formulas that you need to remember in this lesson. So we're going to write them here. So first we're going to define our pronumerals. So we're going to let C be, oh, I wanted to put 2 points here. Be the circumference of a circle, okay? How annoying. Okay, let's see the circumference of a circle. Wonderful. BD, be the diameter. And BR, the radius. Of a circle. Wonderful. So the first formula that we need to know is that the circumference is going to be equal to pi times the diameter. And if you remember, that comes straight from the definition of what pi is, that we said that pi is the ratio between circumference divided by diameter. So it's straight from that. Let me just write it here so you can see it. We said that pi is equal to circumference divided by the diameter. So if I multiply both sides of this equation by diameter, I can cancel the diameter here, and I get that because pi is a number, I write it first, pi times d, the same as saying 2d or 3d or 5d. Pi is a number, so pi d is equal to circumference. That is exactly what we have here. That's our first formula. The second formula also comes from the definitions, and is that the diameter is equal to 2 times r. And we know this because that's the definition. The diameter is the double of the radius. Radius is half of a diameter. So if we think about it, of our circle that we drew before, and I put my center here, if I wrote the radius is this, so the diameter is double that. So that's the diameter. And so this formula comes from the definition. And if I I want to use the correct term, not introduce. If I substitute this d that I have in here, I'm going to substitute it with these two r's. So if I do that, I can say the circumference is equal to pi times 2r. Agree? And how do we write that in algebra? So I put the 2 first because it's looking as a number. So we always put the number first, and then the pi, which is also a number, but it's the symbol, is representing a number, and then we have r, which is our radius. And that means that this is our third formula that we need to remember for this unit. Wonderful. Let's do some examples. Okay, let's do the following examples. So the first one says, find the circumference of each of the following circles, giving answers in terms of pi and corrects to the decimal places. The first thing that I want to mention is that when they're asking us to give an answer in terms of pi, it means that it's asking us to give an exact answer. As the video explained, pi is infinitive, so it goes forever. So every time that we're doing a calculation with pi in our calculator, we are doing an approximation. So when we're going even an exact answer, we have to give it in terms of pi. This is not going to be as important in year 8, but as you progress in the rest of the year, sometimes we're going to ask you to give an exact answer, and you need to know that when you're asking for an exact answer, you have to give it in terms of pi. You cannot do the calculation because pi, as I said before, is infinitive, and every time that you could do a calculation with pi, you're doing an approximation. Okay, so now let's look at this one here. Okay, so what do I have in here? I have my diameter because it goes from one point of the circumference to the other point of the circumference, going through the middle, through the center. So the formula that I'm going to use is circumference equals pi times diameter. That's the formula that I'm going to use. Okay, so to do the answer of the first one, very easy. Circumference is equal to 24 times pi. And you leave it like that, just your first answer. For the second one, we actually have to do it in the calculator. So when I write, I put circumference equals to 24. Just check that your pi is in the fourth row of your calculator in the first column. There it is. So when I do 24 times pi, I'm getting that is 75.398222369. And it says that it has two decimal places. So when I do that, I'm getting that is 75.40. Why am I putting an 0 after here in? Because I don't need it, because it's asking me the answer to 2 decimal places, and because it's asking for 2 decimal places, my answer must have 2 decimal places. So that will be my answer for that one. Wonderful. Now let's look up here. What do I have here? So in here I have my radius, okay, because it's half the diameter. That means that the formula that I'm going to use is circumference is equal to 2 times r, pi first, and then r. Okay, that's the formula that I'm going to use. So for the first one, I do circumference is equal to 2 times 5 is going to be 10. So my answer is 10 pi. And when I write it in the calculator, 10 times pi is going to be equal to 31.42 meters. Wonderful. This one was centimeters square, because we're talking about area, and this one is meters square. Wonderful. Let's look at the next one. Find the perimeter of the following shape correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, so it's looking for the perimeter, which means that is the circumference. We can see here that we have a semicircle. So I could have half of a circle, agree? So what do I have here? I have the diameter, which is 12. So if I use my formula, which is circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, then I'm going to sub in circumference equal to 12 times pi. It's asking me the answer to 2 decimal places, but hold on. If I do this calculation, I will be finding the whole circle. Do I need the whole circle? I only need half of it, so I'm going to divide it by 2. And I'm going to write that that's not the circumference. I'm going to write that this one is the perimeter. So I'm going to write the perimeter that I'm looking is equal to 12 pi. There you go. The perimeter is 12 pi divided by 2. That will give me this part of what I'm looking for, half of the circle, but I'm missing something because then I'm working here as well, so I have to add this diameter, which is going to be 12. So then I have to do plus 12. So when we do this, I just have to cancel here, and that means that in my calculator what I have to do is perimeter is equal to 6 times pi. I get that is 18.849555592, and then I'm going to add to that 12. So I get that my answer is 30.849555592. So if I write approximately to 2 decimal places, I'm going to get that is 30.85 centimeters. I just realized, girls, that in the previous I put the notes, the units wrong. It's actually, let's see if I can delete it. This one is only centimeters, because we're not talking about area, we're talking about perimeter circumference. Same here. What was the answer? Okay. Wonderful. Now that's our answer. Okay, fantastic. So we have here, find the perimeter of the following shape, and we have found our answer, this one. Wonderful. And with this, we have finished our videos. Thank you, girls, for watching and for being patient with me.